Bliss, love, and lavender. Welcome to the Audacious Leader Podcast, where female founders in leadership, we're discussing the purpose, the path, the pace, and even the proper pivots of a leader from a feminine perspective. In this podcast, we interview women who are audaciously leading in their life, playing chess in a dress. I'm your host, Nubia Kamesha Sade, and today we have a phenomenal guest who is the mothering archetype energy. She is someone that I recently met who has a very compelling story, and I'm so grateful that she is here and that she is present because she's going to gift us with sharing her story and sharing how she is leading in her life, from self-leadership all the way to business, family, and so much more. We're going to talk about that today. So I want to welcome you, Anita.
Thank you, Sade. Thank you for having me here. I appreciate that.
You're very welcome. So, Anita, tell us where you are from and what you do and why are you passionate about what it is that you do?
Sure. For having me here, Nubia. I am originally from India. I have been living in US now almost 25 years. And it has been thus far a beautiful journey of a lot of experiences, a lot of ups and downs, and just becoming who I am and finding myself. So, yeah.
Wow. I love that. So, how do you like the US?
It's home.
It's home because
Yes.
you've been here so long.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. And tell me, Anita, when I met you, you were in between, in motion, in movement, as leaders are always in motion. And you shared with me that you are a part of something amazing where you're helping a lot of women in their life from a financial perspective. Tell me more about what it is that you do.
Sure. So I come from, I'm going to share a little bit about my background.
Sure.
I graduated and then I started in hospitality business. I really thought that there was nothing beyond hospitality industry. Because I loved that industry. I was so passionate about that industry. And so served with all my heart. Then after a couple of years, a friend of mine called me and said, I need help at my gas station. My staff just walked away. And I said, what happened? What did you do? And she was like, nothing. What do you mean by what did I do? So I came just to help, not knowing anything about gas station business. And so I was like, what am I going to do here? She said, don't worry, you know how to speak. Ask people what they need. So just grab an item and ask them, is this what you want? Scan it and, sell. No problem, I can do that. And from that point on, I realized that, this is also really nice industry actually. So I moved on from, gradually, hotel industry or to retail business. And slowly started learning about the business. And in 2018, somebody introduced me to financial side of the business. I heard them with all the respect, but I didn't believe in it. It took me a minute to believe in it. But then in 2019, I had this gentleman who come to my house, February, and say, Anita, get a coverage. I listened to him and I offered him tea and water, like all, good hospitality manners. And after that, I said bye to him. Well, he kept calling, so I said, okay. So, of course, we spoke for a minute and I asked him, I said, could you please offer me something, just something so small? And because I did not know what this was all about. So,
you're talking about insurance?
Yes.
Okay.
So I got a very small life insurance coverage. I kept telling my husband that please get a coverage. And he said, we are so young. We have so much time. And I said, yes, we are young and so much time. But what did I know? That Lord has some other plans. And yeah, November 2019, everything changed with one phone call. He was in an accident, and he passed away. So there was no coverage. So now I'm dealing with emotional loss, and at the same time, finance also. There was so much happening, and that changed my life. I couldn't take care of myself for so long because of just the shocks. And but slowly, some people came. As there's always universe sending people in your life. So they came, they stood by me, and they encouraged me. And I started learning about this whole industry. I was like, what happened to me, it should not happen to any other person. So I felt like now I feel it as this is my personal responsibility to reach out to as many as people, share this passion, share this awareness, spread the awareness that it's so important that as much as we take care of our household, we need to take care of our finances side also. That as much we make sure that our houses are strongly built and foundation is good, we need to have the financial side also strongly built, so that no one goes through times that I went through. No court should decide for you that what you should have, what you should not have. So that's just the passion behind my cause and drives me.
Wow. You're such a strong woman. You took the pain from that really big loss and you turned it into purpose.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a big deal. It's a big deal. So tell me, how long have you been in the industry? Like, how long has it been?
So I really started with all the passion back into it in 2022, and it has been really like 2 years in this business, and yeah, I'm growing each day.
Beautiful. So your husband passed, and then your mother passed.
Yes.
As well. How did you see yourself through that? Because those are some big losses, and oftentimes people don't come back from those emotionally, mentally. What did you use? How did you get through that?
So when I lost my husband, that time was totally different. I felt like you go through difficult situation and you graduate, and you become more and more stronger. So losing him was a huge shock to me, emotionally, psychologically, financially, in every way. I was lost. I did not know what to do with myself. I tell you the truth, I felt like if anybody looked at me with kindness, I used to feel like there is a tap, like right here, and it just comes on automatically, and I will cry and cry for no reason because you just looked at me with so much compassion, or just smiled at me. I was that grieving inside, and I did not know. So it took me. I don't know how I came out of it. I think it was a lot of prayers, a lot of prayers of my parents. Actually, I didn't have much support from here, but God is always with you. So I was still coming out of that because it was end of November 2019, and mom passed away in 2021. So we are in COVID, can't go back to India, do all that stuff by myself here. I was, tell you the truth, very, very angry with God. I will say that I fought with the Lord. I was like, how can you do this to me? You didn't give me children, so I said, no problem. Like all these children are mine, right? Okay. Whatever your decision was with my husband, thank you for giving me the years with him, right? Thank you very much. Now, why? You didn't even give me a break to get over one thing, one loss and second comes in. So I was very, very upset. Very, very upset. But I believe how to accept the news, when I heard the news about my mother, my brother called me from India and he said, I want you to know that mom has passed away. And I said, what? She had caught on COVID. She had visited somebody not knowing that they had COVID at that time. So she got sick. And so cut the story short, I hear this news. I am with a friend who is planning to go. She was from Kenya, so she's traveling to Kenya. And I'm taking her to Walgreens to get her test done. And I'm crying and driving her. And she's like, I am so sorry. I don't know what to say at this time. I said, don't worry. We got to do what we got to do. You go to do your test. I'm going to, be here and just try to accept it. We come back, I drop her, and then I drive back home to Atlanta. At that point, I just kept asking the Lord, why did you do it? You are my father. You have to answer me. Why did you do this to me? I come home, and I think for 2 days, I couldn't understand and all that stuff. But after 2 days, I heard a voice, and it said, go upstairs and like where I do my prayers. So I sat there, and I have no idea how many hours I sat there. And after some time, I saw on the right hand side, I saw like blazing fire, but nothing which can touch you or burn you. And I literally saw a throne. I knew that there's a figure sitting there, but it's a king. And then I saw beautiful, amazing clouds. In those clouds, I see my mother's face looking up like this and so peaceful and glowing. At that time, a voice spoke to me and said, haven't you been praying that you want to be in my presence? Now your mother is in my presence. She's not suffering anymore. Look how peaceful she is. And look at you. You're sitting here and you're crying. Get up. I felt like a punch in my stomach, and I felt like blood running all over my veins. And there's an old song that I used to sing that one day we will be with the Lord. Right? So get ready for that day. Boy, that became my anthem. I got up and I was like, I shook myself and I said, you know what? I'm going to go into gratitude. Right away, for every single thing, I started doing gratitude, like gratitude for little things to bigger things. And that, I have no idea from where the strength came. Yes, I cried. There were days when I cried and all that, but that changed everything within me and gave me this amazing strength. I'm not sure from where it came, but I accepted it. Until today, I'm very, very grateful to God for the years He gave me with my mom, with my husband. Last year, I lost my dad. Very grateful for the years I have with him and, beautiful life that I have and so much to offer to everybody.
That is so beautiful. That is so beautiful. You mentioned gratitude. Was it affirmations? Was it you just counted the things around you? Did you do gratitude every day? Tell me more about this gratitude journey.
Thank you. So I just knew that I have at that moment to survive. But then you have to move on from surviving to thriving mode. Right? So what I did, I started my morning as you wake up, right? I started with, Lord, thank you so much for this beautiful day. But as the day passed away, I started, if there was a water, thank you for this water. For every little thing, single thing, for the light, as I turn on the light, thank you for the light. Thank you for, for my own self. I started tell you the truth, even I do that practice till today in the morning. I go from my hair all the way to the tip of my nail, and I say thanks for every single thing, because I understood that all these organs are given to me freely. I only realize the worth of them now that I work in insurance industry and I provide life insurance. I've realized when people are not well, what happens to their coverages. Some of them are not, they don't get coverage. So I've realized that each organ is special and so amazing. And this is such a complicated, there's nothing above, beyond our body that God has given us. There's nothing has come nearby in science which can come near to this body, the way God created us all and put each organ together and all the nerves going like this and like that and how the blood flows. So I understood that I have to just thank the Lord, just stay grateful for every single thing, and everything works out. So now I have an affirmation that I always say is that everything is working out for my good. Everything is working out. Even when the car goes down, or even when any appliance in the house goes down, I'm just like, everything is working for my good. And I have to train myself to have that mindset. So yeah.
Everything is working out for my greatest good.
Yes.
Everything is always working out. You know what? Everything is always working out for me. And when you have that conditioning in your mind, and it's like a tune that you're in tune with through the day, you don't get tripped up by traffic, you don't get tripped up by little things that can come and disturb your peace.
Absolutely.
Because oftentimes, we think we have to go get peace. I need some peace. When you really are the peace. We are the peace. You come from peace. And it's up to you to maintain that peace. Peace needs to be maintained just like a car.
Yes.
Just like a tune-up and all of those things. So that's such a great point. So you actually answered the questions that I was going to ask you about leading yourself into the right situations and then leading yourself out of, situations that are low, sad, and when you're not at your best. So tell me more about this industry, this financial industry, this, what do you call it? What do you call the insurance industry? Do you call it the insurance industry? Like, tell me more about insurance.
Thank you for asking. So it's more like financial industry.
Yes.
Because if I don't just do insurance, there's so much more to it. If I was only doing insurance, then I will call it insurance.
Okay.
But beside insurance, we do investments, we do trust and will. We help people to come out of debt. There are a lot of students out there that they have so much student loan, and all they need, just a little bit help, somebody to connect them with the right company. It's kind of a bridge in between. So it's a financial industry because we offer. I always, when I talk to my team, I tell them, I said, it's a C. Now, health industry is a C, right? Health insurance, that's another C. Life insurance is another C. And PNC side, which is like car and home insurance and much more in that, that's another C. And then I tell them, I said, when you talk about term, when you talk about final expense, when you talk about whole life, IULs, right? These all are different islands. There's so much to be learned, so that because if we know it so well, when we sit with a client, most of the time when people think about insurance, all they are thinking that she's going to talk about when I'm going to pass away, actually, right? But it's not all that. There is so much more to it. There is different kind of islands or different kind of insurances packages, and so I am grateful that now I have the opportunity to not only just reach out to folks, but have a huge team. Excuse me.
That's cool. All right, so we're going to wrap up with just one last question about, because my brand is about women's empowerment and femininity. So, sorry. Oh, no problem. So my next question for you is, how do you balance, we talked about femininity earlier, how do you balance that softer part of yourself with being in an industry that can seem to be male dominated or a little bit more aggressive or involve sales? Like, how do you balance the two, or harmonize? I like to say harmonize. How do you harmonize your femininity, you being this mothering energy, and then balancing that into what you have going on in the financial industry?
I like that question. So how do you harmonize? How do you balance it? I think if you balance yourself, if you are peaceful, nothing matter what you touch, it becomes peaceful. That's what I believe. That if you're grounded, doesn't matter what you're doing. So I was told actually, I think 2 years or 3 years before, Anita, Sunny, this is not a place for you because you are almost like you're very soft and you're like a small fish in this huge sea where there are a lot of sharks. You have to be a shark to be an insurance agent because you have to be go-getter, you have to know how to sell, how to, all that. So I said, okay, no problem. But how do you balance yourself? I didn't want to lose myself. So I think about in finding myself a new me. Uh, I'm still trying to learn how to balance it, but at the same time help my team to know how to balance it, so that we know how to speak to our clients, but not by in a way that I'm here to sell. When you just sit down with the folks and you just say, I want to educate you, right? I just want to share knowledge. They'll listen to you, and your products are so good. You just share with them, and they're like, okay, I want this, I want this, I want that. Why? Because you're educating them. You help them to grow and learn. So
that's the mothering energy. So they said, Anita, you're soft as cotton candy. Anita, this is a industry for sharks.
Yes.
And you were a soft fish. But what's interesting about that statement is that, number one, it's wrong, because the base and the foundation of sales come from building relationships, and you need to know how to connect and compel in order to build relationships. And that's where sales transactions actually happen. So actually, yes, you were made for this industry. And as I know, and as you've told me, you've seen success in this industry, and you are still exactly who you are. I get the mothering energy. I got the mothering energy from you from day one. And guess what? That keeps me connected to you. So now when you are educating me, or you're telling me a story, or you're sharing something with me, I am more compelled to listen to you than to someone who is savvy with their words with sales. You catch me at the heart. When you catch someone at the heart, they trust you to lead them in the best direction because you've shown them, hey, I care about you. When you fanning me earlier, I'm like, she cares about my heat. Although I like heat, I like being hot. But she cares about me sweating. She cares about the way the way I'm wearing this, making sure it looks the best. She cares.
Yes.
And so I just want to underscore that despite the things that are told to you, if you are in a male-dominated industry, you can never get it wrong. In fact, your authenticity is going to always make room for you in whichever field and industry. So that's amazing. So thank you for sharing. I want to close out with just saying that you are, again, incredible. I thank you for being here today. And I'm sure the viewers who are watching, they can feel your sense of authenticity, genuine energy, mothering energy. And I want to know, what would you tell a woman right now who is maybe in the financial industry, or she wants to get into it, or she's even watching your story and she's like, hey, I want to know more about what she's talking about? What would you tell her? Like, what would be some advice that you would tell her about creating her financial house to be strong at a foundation, and even educating the ones around her that she loves and care about being insured and having that stability? Like, what would you tell her? What would be something quick you would tell her?
I will say that when we are young, we are healthy, it's important to get a coverage. So that, because there's so many parts to it, and get a coverage which will lead into retirement, tax-free retirement. So talk to someone or anyone that you know who is knowledgeable enough, who can lead you to make that choice and decision. So that as you grow a little bit older, you have a lot of money sitting tax-free. by IRS rules and regulations, so that when you are in your 60s and 65s, or if you don't need to, when you're in 60s, you don't have to depend on anybody. You're self-sufficient. You can take care of yourself. But at the same time, if you get sick, you can take care of yourself from that money that is sitting there, because you need to know the contracts and all. At the same time, I want to encourage that do not just settle for one job. Have another side gig going on so that you have another source of income. I believe I want to be, or I'm trying to be, like a spider having so many legs, so that I have income coming in from so many sides. And that's what I teach my team, and that's what most of the women that are working with me, they are doing. We are encouraging one another to become not only emotionally strong, but financially also strong, having so many multiple businesses going on, and continue to learn and grow each day.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Beautiful. So I want to close out and thank you for sharing that. And, if you're watching this, please understand that a big part of our confidence comes from our financial power. I know for me, the more money I have, the more confident I am. That's just is what it is. I know I'm beautiful. I know I'm all these things. When I look in the mirror, I say, oh my gosh, I'm so in love. But knowing that I am secure and I'm safe, that backbone is necessary for everyone, especially women. And also, you being able to manage your team, you need that mothering energy as well. So this is just, again, I'm just emphasizing and underscoring the fact that you being who you are, the soft person that you are, has been able to show up for you in a way where you're able to build this business in this male-dominated industry where it said that you were not fitting and you were not made for it. You are showing them that you were made for it. So I want to end out this podcast, this conversation, with affirmations. Me and my daughter, I have a 6-year-old daughter, and we go back and forth after prayer with affirmations. So I'll say 3, she'll say 3, I'll say 3, and then she'll say 3, then we'll be done. So as you are listening to these affirmations, I want you to just accept and receive all the energy that is coming through the camera. Absolutely. So I'm going to start first. I'm going to say 3 affirmations. You'll say 3, I'll say 3, and then we'll end with your 3. Okay. And then we'll wrap it up. Absolutely. Awesome. So, I am able, I am bold, and I am beautiful.
I am healthy, I am wealthy, and I am blessed.
I am grateful. I am audacious. I am intelligent.
I am born to reign. I am born to rule. I am born to lead.
Ooh, I love that. I love that. Thank you so much, Anita. Where can we find you? Are you on Insta yet? Are you on LinkedIn? If we Google you, can we find one of your social media handles?
Absolutely. Though I am working on social media sites, but you can certainly find me on LinkedIn.
Okay.
And of course, rest is all phone calls and emails. But yeah.
Anita Sunny, y'all. Anita Sunny, just the way it sounds.
Thank you.
That has been an episode of the Audacious Leader Podcast. I am your host, Nubia Kamesha Sade. And if you are a female founder or a female leader, keep being audacious.
Absolutely.
We'll see you next episode.